sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am Kelvin Crosby, and I'm your host at the See Me Game Podcast. We have invented a way to have defensive walking. You ready to go on this journey with me? Let's do this. Hey, so good to see you, even though I can't see you. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm so excited that you're here at the See Me Game Podcast. And oh man, has it been 2 weeks already? Whoever thought how much development would be happening after we got the PCB board ready to go? I'm just like, wow. I've been busy, everybody. I have been busy. So we're gonna get into it today. We will be going through that and kind of going through that journey of what's going on between getting things shipped in, getting things updated, and getting things finalized for molding. And some of my meetings that I've had over the last few weeks. So, are you ready to go on this journey with me? Let's do it. See Me Cane 1R update. Our countdown to White Cane Awareness Day. So, last time I saw you guys was about 2 weeks ago, and I was in Philadelphia at that point. I had just picked up the See Me Cane 1R, and yes, it was amazing. I was super excited. I went down walking a little bit in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I picked them up. And then I did a lot of work with it in Philly with my nieces and had a good time with them. So that was the beginning of this journey when I posted the last podcast. After I left, I flew to Colorado. I met with my investor, and him and I had a good long talk, and he was truly in love with what the updates of the See Me Cane 1R. And I am just like, he was like, all right, we're good. So let's go to the next step. Gotta go meet with the manufacturer. They're gonna assemble the See Me Cane. Hint, hint. They're visually impaired over there. Just a FYI, because that's my goal, is to have visually impaired people manufacturing the See Me Cane, and I'm super excited about it. So all that to say, I met with them, and they were kind of had their socks blown off too. They've seen a lot of my failures over the last few months, and they're like, now, Kelvin, you have hit the mark with the See Me Cane 1R. They were super excited. They loved the blinking. They loved the brightness. They loved the way it being assembled and the way it's put together and everything that is coming together just like it should. It has not been easy to get into this point, but we are getting closer. So, what is next? After this long trip that took me about 12 days, I finally got home earlier this last week, and I'm just glad to be sleeping in my own bed. So what's next is we are needing to do a practice run on the assembly, and we're getting quotes on the molds and figuring out who can give us the best deal. With all the tariff stuff with regards to China and Mexico and Canada and all that stuff, we're having to figure out some creative ways to be able to get some molds made and hopefully get at a price that is affordable. That's the key component. And thankfully, I got a grant for the mold, so I will be able to use that money to support that. The other thing that's going on, what's next coming up, is that we're ordering a new set of PCB boards. Why? Well, the See Me Cane 1R that I have right now has a dimmer switch in it. The problem is that dimmer switch was not compatible with the LEDs that we're using. So we have to order in a whole nother set of PCB boards. Blech. I'll just tell you, it's not cheap. But we ordered a new set, and I'm now moving on to the next step, and they should be here in about 3 weeks. So just about the right time for NFB 2025 in New Orleans. So if you're going to be at NFB 2025 in New Orleans, I should have the final version of the See Me Cane 1R. I'm super excited. So the other thing that's updated, we are trying to figure out new solutions to make things assemble faster and more efficiently, so that way everybody who's involved that are vision impaired can assemble every part of the Simi Cane. So one of the things I'm working on right now, and something I've been working on all week actually, is sourcing that red bottom at the bottom. Right now we use a pretty thick clear tube, and then we put a vinyl shrink tube on top of that. And eh, it's three steps. You gotta put the white on, you gotta put the red on, and you gotta put the clear shrink tube on there. And that's okay, but it's gonna, for every time you shrink, it's like 5 to 10 minutes. That's money being wasted. So we're gonna look at some other options. And so I've got some solutions. I got samples coming in over the next couple weeks, and hopefully we slam dunk on a solution that still makes it look cool, but also protects the bottom of that tube of the Simi Cane. So, yeah, woo! It's been a journey of updates. Well, you ready for Simi Cane story of the day? Let's do this. Invented, developed, and manufactured by visually impaired individuals, it's time for Simi Cane story of the day. All right, here's your Simi Cane story of the day. And we're going to talk about my first demo Simi Cane. I put my first prototype I ever took out to the market and allowed people to test, feel, and kind of get a general idea. And guess where this was? This was NFB 2019. And that tells you how long I've been working on this project. It's been a while. Sure has been a while. And so when I was at NFB 2019, I had this 1-inch tube and I had a handle on it, and I used 2 flashlights, using the little tiny flashlight that would point at each other. And then I had cellophane inside the tube, and it illuminated the whole tube. It wasn't necessarily even, but it illuminated, and it did the job. It allowed you to be seen. And so I started asking people about the Simi Cane. And people were like, oh, this is interesting. Not sure about that. That's a little heavy. Maybe that's a little too big. And what I realized, this solution I had is cool, but not an actual blind cane, or aka white cane. And that is when I started realizing, if I were to take this design and shrink it, I would have a working solution. That was going to be a lot easier said than done. I'm going to tell you that right now. It took me 2 years to find a solution to really get this tube to shrink. But I did. And I found that I met somebody that knew somebody that had another solution, and that solution actually worked. Well, could we get actually the light to go through the tube that small? At this point, no, not really. The problem was the tube was so small and durability was so good. The hole for the light to go through the inside of the tube was not easy to work with. And so, because of that, we weren't able to really go with the flashlight idea. Honestly, the flashlight idea would have been awesome. We would have been in the market already. You just change out your batteries, use rechargeable batteries, and you would have been like, perfect. Just need a flashlight. It'll solve all my problems. But I tried, and it failed. So that is why we don't use a flashlight for the Simi Cane, and we don't also use the big tubes because one, they're too big, too clunky, and they're kind of heavy. So all that to say, that's the Simi Cane story of the day, and how we started with our first prototype and how we got to this tube that we use today. Well, are you ready for Simi Cane news of the day? It's time for Simi Cane news. The breaking news? There is no breaking news. But the news today, right now, is that things are going well. Things are going in the right direction. Changes are being made to get to production. And I can't wait until the day I get to tell you all about my partnerships that I have going on, and we get everything finalized and everything, and hopefully to bring them on and for you guys to meet them. Because I think it'd be really, really cool. Because you realize our goal at See Me Cane is that visually impaired people in the whole process of this business. That way, at least I can do my part to lower that statistic that 75% of visually impaired people are unemployed. That's just wrong. I'm just saying. It is just wrong. So for See Me Cane news of the day, I didn't have much update, but stay tuned because I tell you, I probably won't be in the location that I'm recording this. If I'm not, that's good news. If I am, that could be still good news. But you'll have to find out. Like I always say, go live beyond your challenges. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.
If you would like to pre-order your See Me Cane, go to SeeMeCane.com.